Welcome to another episode of Mastermind Bites. Hi, my name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock the potentials and guide them to succeed, whether it's to increase their credibility, expand their exposure, or create multiple streams of income for them. Today on Mastermind Bites, I get the pleasure of featuring another amazing person. Over the last few years, I've had the privilege to meet and be in the presence of some of these amazing people, some masters of their skill sets, and got to learn from them, hear their stories. And I just want to take this opportunity and use this platform to share back some of the stories and some of the lessons learned that I got from them and that we can actually put into our daily lives and also into our businesses as well. Today, it's featuring Mr. Gene Simmons, the demon himself. This guy is absolutely amazing. He's a Grammy winner. He's the founder of Kiss. He's a rock star. He's a recording record producer. He's also an actor and entrepreneur. He owns a football team. He has so many things that he does, and like TV star, everything. He does absolutely everything. You name it, there's probably Gene Simmons' name on something or the word Kiss on something. And just listening to him talk and just watching him do what he does is absolutely fascinating. He always has this way of controlling the media, controlling the conversation, and he always brings it back to talking about him or talking about something that he really wants to talk about, whether it's his brand, his product, his services, his show, his name, all that stuff, and he always brings it back. And when you watch some of his interviews, you can see how he really controls it, and he controls it in a way that it's flawless. Sometimes the viewer basically doesn't really need to ask a question because Gene Simmons really controls that narrative, which is pretty amazing. And that just shows you how much confidence he has and how much willpower he has, and also how much control he has when it comes to speaking in public and also conducting interviews. There was a few stories I found that was absolutely fascinating to know, and just to understand some of the things that he thinks about and how he works around things. Lots of people are wondering, why is he always wearing sunglasses? Whether it's indoors or outdoors or in an interview or whatever it is, he's always wearing sunglasses. And his answer to that was because the sun never sets on planet cool. Man, that is confidence. That is willpower. I thought that was really, really neat. Some other things that was very fascinating about Gene Simmons was, for a rock star of his caliber, for a rock star of his status, you think that living in that life, yeah, there would be some drug abuse or some alcohol abuse, whatever it is, being high. But he is one of those guys who has never, ever been drunk, who does not drink, does not take drugs, does not even have cigarettes. I mean, that's almost unheard of, especially in that field, in that industry. And when you find out more about why he does that, first of all, he's grateful for the life he's been given, and he's always been very, very protective of his health. But the other thing is, he remembered way back when he was young, and at those parties, and all the other guys are drinking, and all the other guys are getting high. Well, eventually that drinking and that getting high will get those guys to act stupid or act not appropriately. And that's when all the girls think that they're jerks. But here's Gene Simmons, who is completely in control of his mind, in complete control of his body, did not drink, did not have anything bad, and now all the girls flock to him. So that's how he separates himself from all those other people, but also protecting his mind, protecting his body, and being healthy as well. So never had like drugs or drank at all, which I thought was absolutely neat. Now, some other things is that he's always one of those people that was very in control of his organization as well. I thought it was kind of neat when he brought somebody up to from the audience and asked them, "So, what did you do on this date at this time, and who was it with?" As that person was fumbling around with his phone trying to search, all Gene Simmons did is reach down into his boot to pull out this notepad and goes, "I was doing this, 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 and this." And right away, he was able to access that information faster than this guy who was who was very anxiously going through his phone and trying to find the right thing and all that kind of stuff. Whereas he just writes things down. He plans his day out. He takes notes. He still uses paper and pen. And sometimes the old-fashioned way of just taking notes, writing it down, it allows you to kind of remembers things better, kind of reaffirms what you're writing down, lets you see it again versus texting. There's this magic that happens when you're actually handwriting things down versus typing things in. And I know in this day and age where technology is a big thing, sometimes going back to just pen and paper or just a marker and a whiteboard, whatever it is, makes things a lot of difference. The other thing was when it comes to business, he's always had an amazing business mindset. He understood that you have to make business interesting and how to make some stuff that's not interesting very interesting. Now, that's basically how KISS was reformed, because way back at that time, bands were kind of just playing music the same way. They perform the same way. They have the same kind of show. They have the same kind of playing style. They have the same kind of music. So really, he sat with Paul Stanley at the time and just kind of go, okay, what can we do a little bit differently? And what has people never seen? What has people never experienced before? And that is how KISS was formed. And absolutely amazing. If you've seen some of those videos, some of those concerts, some of this stuff is absolutely fascinating. Like he's blowing up fire, there's blood, there's all the spectacles, fireworks, people flying, he's flying. And it's one of those things that it showcases the creative genius that Gene Simmons is. So it's absolutely amazing just to hear him talk about these kind of things, to kind of hear him talk about how he thinks and how he kind of interprets information, which is very, very interesting. Now, there's 5 things I really want to focus on, and these are 5 things that I think is lessons learned that we could put into our daily lives and also our businesses as well. Number 1 is working hard and giving back. Number 2 is dreams do come true. Number 3 is looking for that inspiration. Number 4 is there is no winning, there's only striving. And number 5, start your home business, own your own domain. So going back to number 1, and that is working hard and giving back. The one thing that we all have to do, and he repeats this all the time, no matter where he goes, it's working hard, putting the time in. You have to earn the respect, you have to earn the credit, you have to earn the money that comes into you, or the success that you get. And the thing is, once that fuse is lit, once the fuse of life is lit, you can't go back. You sleep for 1/3 of your life. So if you expect to live up to 100 years old, let's say, well, 30 of those years are instantly gone because that's the time you spent sleeping. So now you only have like 70 more years. So what are you going to do with those 70 years? And then if you're wasting away on bad habits or time that you spend procrastinating, well, that's more and more time than not using to your maximization of what you can do with your life and impacting more people or reaching the potential that you always wanted to reach. Now, one thing that he's worked really, really hard on is language. And he recognized at a very early stage that English is the language of business. And then also, once you start learning English, you have to also understand how to use English to speak the business language itself. So English was actually his 3rd or 4th language, and he knows many, many languages. So it allows him to connect and communicate with more and more different industries and also different cultures and whatnot. And when he travels to different countries, he can also say a few words in those languages as well, also showcasing how hard of a worker he is. So the thing is, he worked really hard with language. He worked very hard in speaking the right business sense and the right business communication so that he is able to really strive and become more successful in his work. So he's worked really, really hard. He expands into multiple kinds of businesses. He owns a football team. He has lots of products. He's a branding and marketing genius, and he works and works and works. But after all that, after all the successes, he's always found ways of giving back. Because giving back and making the world a better place is something that he truly believes in. And that's why he's one of those people where he understands that the people around him, they have everything that they really need. They're all very, very fortunate already. So during Christmas or whatever celebrations, birthday and all that kind of stuff, whoever knows Gene Simmons will also usually get a card that goes, "Congratulations, you have supported and helped some people in need with a donation under your name." And that's what he does. He takes that money that he would have used on a gift or whatever it is that normally is probably put into a shelf somewhere and used it to impact the world, to make the world a better place. And the organizations that he supports and the charities that he gives back either is for the youth to become better, to grow up, to become stronger and more entrepreneurial sense wise, but he also helps those who are able to grow and to be better for themselves. He doesn't just donate the money. He would donate the money and then also have a part of it where they either give back the funds, treat it as a loan, and then recycle that money back so it goes back to other families, to other people who needs it. His mindset is you can't just keep on giving away money like charity, but if you give them a job and let them work for it, then they'll learn and they'll become better. For instance, instead of, hey, here's some money, go do something with it, or you go, hey, there's some graffiti here, pick that up, clean that up, and then we'll pay you. Create that job, create that habit, create that mindset that you have to earn, work hard for everything that you want. And the thing is, another thing he sometimes says is he rarely wears watches, because when it comes to hard work, you can't look at the time for hard work. You just work until you get it done. Number 2 is dreams come true. And what was really fascinating about that was he began to be a real dreamer when he watched the movie Pinocchio. And that's when Jiminy Cricket sings that song where dreams come true. And he goes, wow, maybe I can make my dreams come true. And that's where it really all started. He worked harder. He went out and he wanted more. He goes, why does everybody else have all this stuff and I don't? Because he came from a very troubled childhood. So he wanted to change that mindset. He wanted to change that lifestyle and create more and more for himself. And he's always one of those people that says more is a good word, because no matter who you ask, no matter who you question, if you ask the question, do you want more of something? More likely than not, they'll say yes. So it's good. If you ask Warren Buffett, if you ask Mark Zuckerberg, why do they still go and work every single day? Why do they still go and do something different? Why do they still go and create projects and work on different industries? It's because they want more. Whether that's more money or more products or more impact or more value to other people, they could give it away to other people to make the world a better place. So it's more, but you can always give it back. So more is always a good word. And unfortunately, a lot of us grew up in an environment where we're afraid to want more. We're afraid to ask for more. So we're very sheltered. So the thing is, when we start changing that mindset and thinking that more is a good word, then we could create those dreams to come true. So I thought that was very good insight when it comes to entrepreneurship as well. We got to ask for it. We got to expect it. We got to work for it. And inspiration is the third one. And when he was asked the question, who inspires you? He goes, everybody in the world. All they really need to do is turn and look at the mothers to find inspiration. And inspiration to him is his mother. And I thought that was very, very powerful because, like, again, he came from very rough childhood. He had his mom was a single parent and they had absolutely nothing. So a quick story about when he gave a lot of money to his mom, I believe it was like a $10 million check, all lump sum, just gave it to her. And she goes, wow, that's wonderful. Now what are you going to do? It's one of those things, well, good job. Keep on doing more, keep on doing something different, keep on growing, keep on doing. And that's what mothers do. And he believes that all mothers are great caretakers. They're the ones that really care for their child. They're the one that really want their child and protects their child and wants their child to grow up and become better and strive for more, which is why he's so inspired. He's seen how his mom was able to overcome lots of adversity and lots of challenges, and he sees that he puts that into his own personal life. That's why he keeps on growing, and he's always inspired to do more. And it's one of those things that he asked himself the question, if you take it all away, can you build it back up? Because he's experienced where he had nothing. He knew his mom had nothing. They were both able to build it all up again and create this universe for themselves. So ask yourself, if one day everything was gone, can you recreate it? And that's kind of the inspiration he got. Number 4 is it's not winning, it's always thriving. It's always pushing forward. It's always working hard to earn that credibility, working hard to understand why you got what you got and why you deserve what you got. If you don't have, and if you're not as successful as you think you should be, then you probably deserve that status because you didn't put in enough time. Everything is up to you. It's meant, whatever it's meant to be, it's up to you. So the thing is, you need to work hard, and it's like I said, don't constantly think about winning. It's always constantly think about striving for more. We go up. He mentions that we're in a society where the culture is a little off. Where if somebody wins the lottery and wins like millions and millions of dollars, there'll be press. There'll be a parade. There'll be celebrations for this person. But this person didn't do anything to win that money. Didn't do anything to earn that money. So why are we celebrating that aspect? However, for somebody that's worked years and years and years and years, and all of a sudden you find out that they earned this much money, then you go, wait a minute, something's off. How did they do it? It's probably not legal. And you start questioning and start thinking up negative connotations as to why they got that money. Yet we're celebrating this person who won the lottery. So there's something a little off, and we need to kind of change that. It's not about winning, it's about striving and pushing and crossing that finish line with your best effort. His other analogy is during a 100-meter race, you see everybody pushing as hard as they can. Sure, there's a winner, but they all strive to be their best. They all strive to reach their personal best. You're not going to see one runner just walking and lazing around and finishing, crossing that line. They all push hard. They all strive for more. So for entrepreneurs, we have to strive. We have to push. We have to constantly want to become better and not just focus on winning, because winning is just bonus. So strive for more. And the 5th thing is start a home business. He recommends that everybody, we have a name, you have a name that's unique to you, so own that domain. For myself, that's why I have fongchua.com, because Gene Simmons says you've got to go get your own name domain. So that's why I got it. Whatever you do with it is up to you. You need to think about, okay, at least you own it. You have this space. It's free for you to do whatever you want to do with it. And he recommends you need to start some kind of business. You need to start some kind of entrepreneurship. But don't quit your day job. Don't quit the job that you've always been putting your time in and working hard for until you have that sustainability, until you have the consistency of this other business that you're building. So what do you do in this business? Well, think of something. Create a space in your home, create a space in your apartment, and then you can always take that space and claim it as a business claim on your taxes, and kind of use that space and be creative. Whether it's relabeling water bottles, or relabeling different products, or coming up with a song, or creating movies, or creating a product, or just being able to consult and add value to other people. Think about something that's creative so that you can create a new business for yourself and add value to the world. And he highly recommends that, because that means you're building that entrepreneurial spirit. You're adding to the world, you're impacting the world and giving more back. So it's not just working on your day-to-day 9-to-5 job, it's also creating that entrepreneurial spirit and a business for yourself. So that's why go out there and find and buy your domain name, yourname.com. So those are the 5 things I thought was very interesting with regards to Gene Simmons. And it was absolutely fascinating hearing him speak, watching him live, and also listening to him perform live as well, which is also very, very awesome. So those 5 things again was: number 1, work hard and give back. Number 2, dreams do come true. Number 3, inspiration. Look at those that you admire, learn from them. Number 4, there's no winning, there's always thriving. And number 5, start your own business, own your name domain. So I hope you enjoyed this episode with Gene Simmons. It was absolutely fascinating to just learn more about him and learn more about how he conducts himself and builds his businesses. He has lots and lots of great books, so reach out and find some of those books and read those as well. And if you like this episode, please go back and watch some of those other episodes on Mastermind Bites. And if you like this show, we also have the Peak Potential Success Show, the Unlocking the Mind Behind, Make More Work Less, and also the Make More Mind Bites that's up every single week. Please like, subscribe, follow, and comment. I love looking at the comments. And thank you very much for your support. And until next time, today is the day to lock your potential. We'll see you later.